Hey YouTube, coming at you with my first Great League Remix team. It took me actually a while to find a team and this team was only okay. I had real trouble finding a team that worked, but it's a double dark team, and I wanted to use Pangoro because again, I think Pangoro is gonna be a killer core breaker in this meta, with things weak to fighting like the normal typings and all the ghosts and stuff like this. So I think it's a really good Pokemon. And I tried the one with I think one ghost. Um, I tried Corsola, I tried Driftblim. And like Marowak, I talked about Marowak as the fire. That's a good answer to the fairy. And like, what else can I use? And I tried I forget what other safe swap I tried with this team. But then someone I ran up against was running Scrafty with upper hand, and I'm like, double dark, um, like old school team. Vergy would be proud with the double dark here. So, uh, fire, couple fairies banned, Wheezing, Azumarill banned. Ting Tong was everywhere, but that is where the Marowak is for it, right? So let's take a look in action. You have to basically kind of swap into one of the back Pokemon if you do not see it on the lead. I've been using Scrafty as a safe swap. It's a little slower, but the counters really add up. And upper hand is a pretty hard hitting move. I'll have to check the stats. Why are you staying in against a normal Pokemon doing super effective moves against a ghost Pokemon when you have two dark in the back? The real reason is I'm filming this at 10 o'clock at night because I just finished watching game 5 of the Ottawa Senators Toronto Maple Leafs where the Sens won. And because I like screwed up so many times, I had to do these battles like at 8:30, 9 o'clock after the kids went to bed, and that coincided with the Leafs and Sens playing. So I was like 90% watching that, 10% battling. So I will go on the record now. If you see misplays on timing, slow swaps, stupid plays, it was 90% probably because I was distracted by the game. Okay. Greninja did come in. I've got two answers. Seems like so it's a mirror match lead, but the back is definitely my advantage, and I don't even need to get to the back because the Bone Club's coming at 12 and 9 here, really starting to add up. Take out Greninja. They have nothing left on their Marowak, so I'll just come in and counter just to show what I have. Diggersby. So ground Pokemon. I've got two answers in the back. So here comes Scrafty, the instant swap and the better Pokemon. They're staying in. I always go Scrafty for the main reason that it has bulk, and I can do this, right? I can just let a Scorching Sands go. As opposed to Pangoro, you're going to feel like the need to shield, and then if you shield on a swap, that's never a good start. So I'd rather just come against something that you can let go. And I can already tell what this team is based on the safe swap and based on how slow it was on the lead, right? So they had a normal typing lead, and they just stayed in against my Scrafty, so that already doesn't make sense. And then here comes an Orangaroo, which is this confusion user, so that makes no sense unless you have a second confusion user in the back. So this is most likely the triple normal, double psychic team with Giraffe in the back here, which means they're gonna have a lot of trouble on the pacing of this because I get to these Night Slashes in 8. Which means I will outpace. Yeah, and they just let it go because they kind of know they're going to get outpaced here. Gudra, tough lead, so we'll have to go Scrafty, and I get hit with a eventually Ting Tong, and there. I mean, you drew it out, and this is where you want to draw it out. And counter and upper hand are neutral. Counter's not. Sorry, I save all the moves below hidden, so like I'll just go down and click on a random one, but like you'll see if I click Dark Pulse here, you'll see it come up below my face. So I got all the moves hidden. So I only have the one move, so when you get something like counter, it's probably counter for legacy of like I forget what Pokemon would have legacy counter, like a Poliwrath. So it's probably like a Poliwrath counter the last time I used it, because counter's not used. No, and I like using counter. I don't know why it would start, but like there's other moves here that like sometimes they're start and sometimes they're not. Perfect example is Aqua Tail is not a legacy on Drapion, but it is a legacy on Quagsire, or like Community Day legacy. I don't know what the right word is. So I'll have Aquatail below, and then I just sometimes forget to change the star. So if you ever see a star beside a moves where it doesn't belong, or no star beside a move where it does belong, it's because I just forgot to change it on the switch up there. Sorry, I'm super thirsty. I don't want to just be a total damn, but we had the Canadian election last night. I was up till 1:30, and then I had to get up early for work to go to the office. Pretty tired. Machamp, oh, I remember this one because it was Mish. So everything lining up to my favor. Machamp in the front, I've got a Ghost. Here comes the normal typing. I can take some moves here. Mistake number one. I should get this move off before CMP and then taking this extra damage there. I should not have taken that extra damage. I should have got that move off for sure. I was gonna blame the game. It's mostly also I don't count. And Tink's in the back, so you know what? This is okay. Counter upper hand. Gonna chip here. So still okay, but my Pangoro essentially becomes useless because Fairy here, double weak to Fairy, and then Machamp as a fighter, so weak to fighting. So I thought Marowak was my win con, so I tried and sweep at that. So I'm gonna try and like catch a move here. I did catch it, but it ends up being like a cross chop, which just deletes me. Yeah, goodbye. So I'm like, okay, this is fine. I've got 2-to-1 shield advantage. I can shield, 2 shield, farm down, come out with 2 bone clubs, and a bone club will take out the Tink because I've already put it down pretty low. And so I throw, as you're going to see here coming up, I throw 1 fire spin, super effective, 1 bone club, they shield. I'm like, a bone club for sure will take this out from the yellow range. I think you know where this is going. They live with literally 1 HP. And now I'm going to move off, which will leave me with 1 HP because they're running Bulldoze as opposed to every resisted move, and then they take me out with the 2 versus 3 turn move. So kind of stupid plays there, kind of just unlucky. But here we are, terrible lead, but out into the Scrafty and met with Grumpig. You know what has Dynamic Punch, which will, I was going to say one shot. It probably does one shot. Scrafty is okay bulk, but it's still Dynamic Punch. Yeah. I do live with 1 HP, but that means nothing. So I got to come back in here. I know they're going to get to another move. It's probably a Shadow Ball, so I'm going to have to shield this up. And now we're kind of in a tricky situation. I went on like as you can see by the elo range. You're going to see a video this afternoon that says highest elo of the season. It was like 2550, 2575, which is true. But unfortunately, that was the Open Great League from a few days ago. So now I'm at 2475. I had a tough team. Like I said, I tried some of my teams. Again, I can't tell whether it was just like I'm tired from being up from till 1:30 last night and getting up at 6 this morning. Just not paying attention because the game was on. Just whatever reasons, just was not working today. So I'll try again tomorrow. But if you got any team ideas or submissions, link in the description. And again, it just seems like I also had a lot of this luck. That's like the 3rd time they literally lasted with 1 HP just to get a move off. I don't think it would have mattered too much to maybe it would, but to get a move off to either take me out or cost me the game. And unfortunately, when there are still fairies in this meta and you run into one, it's like running into Tink is fine because it's half steel, so you still hit neutral. But this one is just straight resisted because it's a grass fairy. So I'll have fire spin. I'll have to still take a move here. It could be grass or fairy. It could be both resisted. Yeah, Moonblast is resisted. That's okay. But they instant swap into Swampert. So Marowak is useless here. Yeah, I just found that. I just found like sometimes it just had like a useless Pokemon like Marowak, Water, Ground, or Pangoro against like a Fairy Fighter. It just had like I had a couple matchups where just like a Pokemon just had like two. They had two answers to it. I was just like, okay, what am I supposed to do here? So going for the Night Slash, and I kind of knew this was not going to take out, which is why I have the sec one ready. But again, 1 HP, literally 1 HP, right? So that's like the fourth. I only have 8 matches here, and this is maybe the sixth match, and that's four times that my opponent was left with a 1 HP to force me to throw a second move there or take a charge move on the other one. So not my day. It happens. I also yeah, it happens. Like pitchers in baseball, some pitchers will say this um, like sometimes they're just on their game. Sometimes they're having like a just normal day, and then sometimes they just don't have their good stuff. I feel like one of these this was like a mixture of like I don't know if I just didn't have my good stuff or just like this wasn't my day sort of thing. So coming Scrafty here. They're staying in Pangoro. I was not counting, so I'm shielding because it could be close combat. Could it be? I don't know. I wasn't counting. I was watching the game. Uh, just to be met with tank, right? So it was a combo of like, did I do well with this team? No. As you can see, like I've run into like 4 or 5 of these already. Fairies. At best, a half steel fairy, but other times just a straight fairy. Opponents living with 1 HP. So use at your own discretion if you want to try the team, but I'm sure I was going to try to check here the other content creators have put out. Some of the other guys are usually pretty good at trying to get out a team within the first few hours here, but ain't nobody got time for that. No. Are they slowing down too? Interesting. Having just talked to Poke Daxi for that video is gonna go out I think Wednesday morning. So lock it in your calendars now. It's gonna be like an hour 20 because the interview was like an hour 5, and then it was like 15 minutes of battles when we filmed that part. So it's like an hour 20. I gotta put it all together still, but yeah, that'll go live next Wednesday morning because I just feel like it's Great League Remix again plus Ultra League. I think that's still like let's just get that video out, um, get some initial reactions on it. So yes, throw in your treat it as a long form podcast or whatever, and I think I combined two things there. I don't listen to podcasts. Okay, this is you're gonna get a lot of random Dan thoughts in this video, which is fine. I'm not mentally all here. Um, so many people are like you should do podcast. You should do podcast. Because it's just like this like Dan type style, and so this is gonna be like it is kind of like a podcast. It's like an hour interview about the game and life and stuff like that. And we had some debates. We had some conversations. So check that out. On podcasts, my wife loves podcasts. Every friggin' time, she cannot go in like silence. So when she's like cooking or cleaning or doing laundry, you can at some now she puts in her headphones. Before she just never put in her headphones and just to hear these podcasts. I hate podcasts. I think they're dumb. I'm not like I'm more of a like a visual person. Like even like some of these I get that like some of these videos on YouTube could be just like podcasts, but I still like just like watching the person more than just listening to it. But maybe that's just me. I just never got the podcast thing. If I'm gonna listen to something, I'm gonna listen to music, as opposed to someone talking for an hour. But I know it's a huge market, right? So to each their own. Anyways, yeah, I only had 8 battles, so 14 and a half, a little shorter than most videos, but that's okay. So this afternoon will be the Great League Open team where I hit the highest elo of the season. I definitely have a couple Great League submissions from last week, one legend run that I have prepped but I haven't shot yet. So that'll go up either Thursday or we'll do like a remix Thursday and that'll go Friday. Still deciding, but depends on your submissions. So please send me some Great League submissions. That is it. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.